And welcome back to Let's Play Xenogears. Something that happened a little bit, I lost part of the video of Faye and the gang going and ascending from the bottom of the city and into the area that we are now, but it was only about 20-30 seconds worth of gameplay, so I'm not going to really bother with it. Now where we are is in the city portion of the city, because there's a city, there's the palace, and there is the gear dock. So they grow their food in this creepy, spinning stone traffic cone. Yes, the city portion is where most of the people live, and the actual part of the city that we are in right now is the barracks, where they have their soldiers sleep and that kind of crap. Notice everybody's dressed like a soldier. Most of these people look like they're soldiers from Maveth. Now, so much dialogue. Now there is another door on the other side of the room. If you go through it, you just end up in the same room that we just exited. That room goes around this room. See that? Same place. Now some impression you get from wandering around talking to the people that are around here is that although they are in direct opposition to Solaris, they don't really engage them in fights that often. Specifically walking around the barracks, and they talk about like this is the anti-Solaris troop barracks, but they don't fight. They just basically hang around. They are very inexperienced fighters. Now there's another example. She talks about them not doing any business right now. Another thing that you notice when wandering around the city. Oh look, the jukebox. Oh, I hate this song. It's a little better. The music will stop as we leave the room. Now, something you notice when going from place to place is that these people are in a bit of a crisis because they are isolationists. They don't go down to the surface to get anything. No food, no water, nothing like that. And they've remained isolated for 400 years. Now, although they're aware of what goes on the surface, they can basically see everything. They are removed from the surface, and their situation has grown extremely dire at this point. Hey, look, it's Choo Choo! A lot of them. And although they've survived for 400 years, so you think like they can go 400 years, they can go for a few more. But their situation is getting even worse now. It's just difficulty of maintaining their kind of lifestyle and everything has finally come to a head. And they're noticing a lot of problems, resource problems, basically. Oh, come on. This really has nothing to do with the story. Just gives you a little bit of an insight to the way these people think. They're very pacifist. And I accidentally made the mistake of talking to her twice. But there was issues not only of their lack of resources and their isolationist ways, but since they haven't really engaged Solaris properly in 400 years, their military is very out of shape. They really don't know what they're doing when they fight. The only person who really has any sort of experience fighting, the only person who ever actually goes out and fights at all, would be Maria with her gigantic gear. Talking about how Shevat has lost its power, and now I'm just stricken to be nothing more than an observer. Now, they consider themselves to be the greatest defense against Solaris taking over everything, but in reality they have no military power, and while they're safe from Solaris because of the shield they have around their city. Oh, this woman's gonna teach us how to fish. Okay, then we'll go fish out of the fountain. Just gonna do this once. Now they're safe from the military of Solaris. They're basically safe from everything because their shield is impenetrable. Their gates. But that doesn't mean they're in a position to do anything about their situation. They basically lock themselves in a room, and although they were safe, they have no offensive power. And while they want to take Solaris down, they have no ability to do it. They lost their ability 400 years ago when they put themselves behind the barrier. And their military has been steadily getting weaker as their resources run thin and their soldiers. Their military basically atrophied. And look, I caught a fish. A horribly pixelated fish. Now you can keep fishing there and find stuff, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, head back up into the choo-choo shop. And we're going to head over next to the gear shop. So this way. It's actually kind of easy to get turned around in the city because everything looks the same. And I mean, it's not a very large one, so if you do get lost, you're not going to be lost for very long. But, you know, it's irritating and still a possibility. How about the Queen? The Queen has actually been alive for 400 years. Shevat has been hidden. So she's been in charge of this group for that whole time. And she's very, very old. I don't care. I'm eventually going to get bored and run from this guy. Now down here is actually where the gear dock is. Not the gear dock, the gear shop. You can go and update your gears and stuff. This guy down up here, but the person you need to talk to is actually down there on the left. That guy was talking about how it was 500, not 400 years ago. I'm gonna cut out the point where I rummaged through and updated my gears. People further talking about how they don't have a lot of work, but they have the same level of technology as Solaris. Their technological development between the two countries has actually been rather static for who knows how long. So they have the same technology, they just don't have the same ability because they don't have the same resources and don't have the same numbers. They're in a kind of a bad position. Now here is an abandoned house with a mirror up against it. Honestly, I don't know the purpose of this. I have no idea what this is. But upstairs is what we were looking for. See, this war was the war that happened 500 years ago, destroyed this house and probably killed everybody inside of it. Or at least damaged the house. And the people of the city left it as is, as a reminder of the war. Okay, where are we going next? We're going to leave this house and we're going to head out of this portion of the city and head over to the palace where we can meet Queen Zephyr. Up the elevator. Yawning. And I'm going to end the episode at this point. So come on back for the next one.